Final review, Unit 4. Example 1, it asked you to find the volume. How do you find volume? So in this case, what am I going to need to do? Exactly. Okay, it is up to you on what you multiply. For me, I look at this and I see x plus 1 and x minus 3. Those look pretty easy to multiply together. If you want to do the box, you can do the box there. If you can do that one in your head, do it in your head. Can you guys do that one in your head? X plus 1 and x minus 3? Okay, well I can, so I'm going to do it. So we get x squared. So in your face. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so we have, remember these are your adding terms. Positive 1 and negative 3, what do those add to be? Really? 1 and negative 3. Thank you. Negative 2x. So our adding number is negative 2x. And when we multiply 1 times negative 3 together, it makes negative 3. So now I'm done multiplying that. If you did the box, you'll get the same answer. When you guys move on to advanced math next year, hopefully you will be able to do that in your head. Well, you just should be able to move to being able to do it in your head. But if you want to always use a box, you can. That's fine. Okay. All right, so that means that now I'm going to take that and I have to multiply it by
2x plus 5.
Thank you. 2x plus 5 is correct. And this, I probably would use a box to be safe. And we would need what size box? 3 by 2 or 2 by 3, however you want to say it. All right, so we have x squared, negative 2x, a negative 3, and 2x, and a positive 5. So we multiply, and we have 2x to the third, negative 4x squared, negative 6x, 5x squared, negative 10x, and negative 15. So we end up getting 2x to the third, 5x squared and negative 4x squared makes positive x squared, or you can write a 1. Negative 10 and negative 6 make, and then we have minus 15. There's our answers. Any questions? Okay, example 2. The area of a rectangle is this. If the width is this, find the length. Who knows what to do? So we know that area is length times width, right? They're telling you that they know the width is this, but we don't know what we would multiply by in order to multiply this by to get this. What are you going to do? Divide. Which means we're going to use long division. Good job. Because it's fun, right? Math is awesome. All right. You guys are crazy if you do not like math. Exactly. I couldn't have said it better myself. Okay. Do you guys want a second to try this one on your own?
Yes.
I think that's a great idea. You can write your answers on a whiteboard when you're done. If you have the answer, if you show me, I'll show you the answer. You show me yours, and then I'll show you mine.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Yes. No.
You know we can see that now. If we didn't show us.
But I figure you want to try it so you get it right. Okay. So let's see how some of you did not get the correct answer. Okay, what do we always look at? Good job. First two terms. So x times what makes 2x squared? 2x, I'm going to line it up with the x term. 2x times x is 2x squared, good. And 2x times negative 2 is negative 4x. But then so I have a negative and a positive. These cancel. Negative 7, positive 4 makes a negative 3x, and we bring down our negative 15. Now I'm looking at my first two terms again. X times what makes negative 3x? Good. So we go negative 3 times x, which is negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 2 makes a positive 6. But what do we always do? Change your signs. This becomes a plus. This becomes a minus. This is the only way these can cancel out, is this if this is a minus and this is a plus, right? So those cancel. Two negatives we add and it stays negative, so that makes negative 21. So that is how I get plus negative 21 divided by x minus 2. Or if you just put minus 21 divided by x minus 2, that is also a good answer. All right, do we see where we went wrong? Okay. Example, are we good for example 3 now? Okay, example 3. State, I'm recording. State the x-intercepts. How do I state the x-intercepts? What do I do?
You plug 0 in for, no, that's wrong.
You factor it.
If there's no y, what are you just going to do?
Factor.
But if you're going to say x-intercepts, you are going to factor, but you're going to need to first set this equal to 0. And then you'll factor and set each of your factors equal to 0 to get an actual value. So what method are you going to have to use on this one? Your over, under, bottoms up? Do you guys want to do this on your own, or you want me to do it? I can do it while you're doing it? Okay. So we start by going over by 6. We have x squared minus x minus 12 equals 0. The numbers that multiply to be 12 are 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. Which numbers also will make a 1? Good, 3 and 4. Which one will need to be negative? Very good, because we want it to be a negative 1. So we end up with x plus 3 and x minus 4. But since I went over, I need to go under. And I'm going under by 6. And I always need to reduce. And 3 over 6 reduces to 1 over 2. And we bring our bottoms up, and I get 2x plus 1. 4 over 6, can that reduce? To what? 2 over 3, and we bring our bottoms up, and I get 3x minus 2. Okay, I know that's tough. All right, equals 0. Then what do I do? 7 equal to 0. So we have 2x plus 1 equals 0, and 3x minus 2 equals 0, and you will solve each of those. So when I solve this side over here, I subtract 1, 2x equals negative 1, and I divide by 2 to get x equals negative a half. Over here, I add 2 to both sides. 3x equals 2, and I divide by 3 to get x equals 2/3. And those are your two x-intercepts. Any questions? All right, example 4. It says, give the vertex and state whether it is a minimum or maximum. Who remembers how to state the vertex when it's in this form? How do you find the vertex?
Negative b over 2a.
Yes. Okay, So remember, these are parabolas. Okay? This would be a parabola that's going up, right? Your vertex is that point where it's symmetrical on each side. So remember that here A is 1, B is 8, C is 1. In order to find the x value of the vertex, you use the equation negative b over 2a. So in this case, it's going to be negative 8 over 2 times 1. And negative 8 over 2 equals negative 4. But that is only the x value of the vertex, right? How do I find the y? Plug it into your equation. So we have y equals negative 4 squared plus 8 times negative 4 plus 1. Negative 4 squared is 16. 8 times negative 4 is plus 1. So 16 minus 32 is negative 16 plus 1 makes. So my vertex is negative 4 comma negative 15. Is this a minimum or maximum? Minimum is correct. Why is it a minimum? Good, because if you notice here it's going up, so it has a minimum value because everything else is bigger. Remember, if you look at this graph, you have a minimum point for your vertex because it's going up, everything else is bigger. How did you guys know that it's going up?
The first term is positive.
Good, your A value is positive. If your A value is negative, then it's going down. What? If your A value is positive, then your graph is going up like this. This point is a minimum value because everything else on the graph is going up, which is bigger.
So
Correct. If it's positive, it's a minimum. If it's a negative, you're going to have a... Yes, that's correct. Okay, this is written in vertex form. Do you guys remember how to find the vertex on this one? Your vertex is, remember, whatever's in parentheses is the opposite because you'd set that equal to 0. So my x value is negative 7. Your y value is what's being added at the end. Is anything being added at the end here? So that's really saying plus 0. Therefore, my vertex is negative 7 comma 0. Well, this graph, since there's a negative a value in front, that means the graph would be going down, which means that you have a maximum. Any questions? Okay. Example 5. How does the 3 change the graph in here from the original graph here? So notice they're telling you that this is the original graph. And this is the new graph. What is the vertex of your original graph?
it's 0, 0.
See how nothing's with the x squared? Like nothing's adding or subtracting and making it a square. So the x value is 0. Nothing's being added at the end, so the y value is 0. So if I were to graph this, this original vertex is at 0, 0. Okay, what is the vertex of my new equation? Negative 3, 1. Remember that anything that's in the parentheses is the opposite. And then you have that number at the end that's not in parentheses, so it stays the same. So from this point, I go left 3, 1, 2, 3, and positive 1, right? That's the vertex at negative 3, comma 1. So how did this move? How did it change? From the blue to the red, how did it change? Good. Left 3, up 1. That's your answer. Left 3, up 1. Questions? Yes, Cody.
Why does it only say how does the 3 change the graph?
Oh, good question. So that means that you would only need to do that. So in the answer, the only thing that you would say is that it went left 3. That's how it changed. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. You can have a candy in a minute. All right, any other questions? Okay.